So, um, I just wanted to make a video uh, in memory of my dog Fonzie, who was put to sleep this morning. Um, where to begin? So it must have been around kindergarten or first grade, and me and my dad and my brother took a trip to the SPCA, and we're looking at all the dogs, and of course we wanted to leave with one. And I remember all the dogs were just crazy and barking and running around, and just like what you would think of when you walked into a pound. And then I remember there was this one dog who was just sitting there, completely quiet. And right when I walked up to his cage, he started wagging his tail, and I guess I was brave enough for some reason to put my hand inside one of the little holes of the cage, and um, this dog came up to me and started licking my hand, and I immediately called my dad and brother over, and I was like, "This is the dog. Like, I need it." And my dad was like, we're not making any promises. We're not necessarily going to get this dog or today or anything like that. But anyways, we took him out for a short little walk, and I think we all kind of fell in love with him because he was just the perfect dog. And then I remember leaving that day without him because my dad didn't want to leave with a dog just at random. And I remember crying and screaming and yelling in the back seat saying that I needed that dog and I didn't want anyone else to get him. And I just remember throwing a hissy fit for like the next entire day. So we went right back and got him a couple days later. And I remember coming home. The first thing he did was mark his territory by peeing on the basement door. It was funny. And I remember we have pictures of it, of him just attacking my mom and licking her and jumping on her. And he always liked women a lot more than men, and I have no idea why. And we're different in that respect, obviously. But it was just amazing. And um, gosh, there are so many good memories. I remember when I was small enough to literally ride on him like he was a horse, and he was already a really small dog, and I remember he would bark at every single little thing, and it would drive me crazy, but it was part of who he was. A squirrel would run through our yard, and he would be on the steps just barking at it, and I would get so annoyed, but it was just kind of like our relationship. And then I would yell at him, and then I'd go hug him because I'd feel bad, and then he'd lick me and wag his tail, and it was just a great relationship. And I remember in the third grade, uh, I was waiting to go to school, and my mom opened up the door to say goodbye to me. And right when she did that, he ran outside and started barking at a truck, and this truck literally goes right over him. And I just remember that feeling, like my heart just sinking, and I remember running inside, and my best friend came after me, and like I was just crying. And I remember that he went to the animal hospital, and I remember the doctor saying he probably wouldn't survive, he probably wouldn't make it, but he was a trooper, and he made it out fine. He couldn't see out of one eye, but other than that, he was completely the same dog. Maybe a little bit more afraid of cars and didn't bark at them anymore. But he definitely was my best friend. I remember we'd go on hiking trips and we'd bring like a bowl for him and water, so while we were walking he could drink water. And I remember, as disgusting as this was, drinking out of the bowl with him, because like when I was really little, I don't know, it's weird and it's kind of disgusting, but just how close I was to my dog. And I remember during my depressed middle school years, I would come home and I would tell him about my entire day and how alone I was and how no one understood me, and um, all that other stuff you think when you're in middle school and it all seems like the end of the world. And I just remember I would love the fact that he would just sit there while I would talk to him and not judge me or walk away from me or and he would just be there to listen. And I think I'm definitely gonna miss that the most, having someone there who always listens to you, and they don't have to say anything back, but you know that they're listening and they care. And I always feel like dogs can just feel vibes, and they know when you're sad or they know when you're hurt, and they know how to comfort you. And they, they can't say anything, but they have their own way of showing that they care. And that's definitely what I'm gonna miss the most about him. And I remember over winter break, um, he had gotten a tumor this summer, and at first they thought it was benign, and so they did surgery, and then it grew back, and I kind of knew that this summer that he was running out of time, and I guess I didn't know how soon it would end, so I just didn't really think about it. And I remember leaving for college, I never got to say goodbye to him, and it killed me. So when I got back winter break, I remember running in the door to see him, and I could tell that he was definitely a lot older because he just sat there and was wagging his tail instead of running at me. But I knew that he was still happy to see me, even though he wasn't running up to me and jumping on me and stuff. It was because I knew that he was probably in pain. He kept getting this tumor, and no one really knew what it was, and he was getting older. But I could tell that he was still happy to see me. And I remember every single night, he would come up to my room at like 4 o'clock in the morning and just pace around. And I have no idea what he was doing, if he was just happy to see me or something. But it would drive me crazy, and I'd be like, Fonzie, what are you doing? Like, it's 4 a.m. I want to sleep. But I would probably give anything for him to just keep coming into my room at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning, even if it woke me up. It's just hard because I've never really lost anyone to death that I knew all too well or was super close with. So it's just weird to think that he's gone. But I know that he wouldn't want me to be sad. Not that I can help it, but I know he'd want me to be happy and remember all the good times we had together. But it is hard, and I know it's gonna take time and talking and plenty of crying and talking to people. But I remember my mom called me today, and she was like, last night he was trying to get into your room, and she thought that he was trying to say goodbye to me because he knew that it was his time to go. And I wish I could have been there and said goodbye to him. But I guess this video is sort of my way of saying goodbye. I can't do it. I can't go back in time, obviously, and be there. But I guess I just wanted to say that I love you so much, and you've taught me so much about life and love and acceptance, and I'll never forget that. And I can't wait until the day when I can see you again. So I love you, Fonzie, and I know that you're in a better place now.